Hey, what's up, you 9,000 beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. As always, my name's Anton, and hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day because this is actually really funny. So you guys actually did recently vote for Florence the Machine to come back on the channel, and I checked, sure enough, today, 45 minutes ago, this drops. This is king. So we've never been able to actually do like a brand new Florence the Machine song on the record because we're kind of going through the back catalog. But yeah, as you guys know, Florence the Machine, I think, is absolutely remarkable. I think Never Let Me Go, I think that song is an absolute masterpiece. I just think, you know, Florence's vocals, the instrumental, I think she's just a different kind of beast. I think that Florence has just another kind of factor to her. Kind of like similar to artists that I would put in that category, is like Tori Amos, Kate Bush, maybe even like Annie Lennox. Just like artists that I feel like are just different breeds. Like they are so wholly unique. And yeah, Florence is quite remarkable to me. So, and I know you guys like her a lot. So yeah, so we're going to be doing Florence and the Machine King. And before we get to this one, as always, if you guys have any song requests for me and you want to vote on what artists come on the channel every single week, definitely join everybody in the Discord, link down below. And if you want guaranteed song requests and you want to check out all of our full album reactions that we've done, definitely join everybody in the Patreon, link down below. And that's it. So let's get into Florence the Machine King. Let's see what their new stuff sounds like. Ooh, proper story to this. Let's see if it has the atmosphere. Whoa, what the? Great bass groove.
We argue in the kitchen about whether to have children, about the world ending in the scale of my ambition, and how much is art really worth.
Wow.
The very thing you're best at is the thing that hurts the most. But you need your rotten heart, your dazzling pain like diamond rings. You need to go to war to find material to sing. I am a mother.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm a bride. I'm a king.
Yeah, it's deep
I
already.
need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing, my empty halls to echo with grand self-mythology. I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king. I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king.
Whoa, okay. I was like, it's kind of getting a bit creepy a bit there.
Is a changeling, always shifting shape. Just when you think you have it figured out, something new begins to take one strange claws of.
Okay, one thing I want to say is I don't know, we'll go back like before this whole thing, but I don't know what that symbolizes, but so far the lyrics are exceptional. Like, I just love the honesty and the thought-provokingness of like what it actually means to be in a relationship, be married, be a mother, be an artist, be ambitious. Like, what does that mean? Like, you know, we've entered a world where these are now more common questions. You know, before there only used to be like kings. You know what I mean? They were the only people that would have these larger than life lives. But now with social media and with, you know, where we are with technology, we can all be ambitious. We can all travel the world. We can all have careers that take us all over the place. And I think more of us have those opportunities now. And now the question is like, how do we balance that with like domestic life? How do we balance that with love? And I don't know if this is the case, but I think maybe some of the symbolism of her breaking what appears to be her boyfriend or her husband's neck is that she has to like kill the relationship to kind of allow her other half to flourish, which is her musical half. Like, she said something in the lyrics about like you have to go to war to write music, and that was thought-provoking because it's true. It's like most of the best music is about pain, is about overcoming dark times, and where are you mining those experiences from? usually your relationships, your relationship either with yourself or loved ones. And so whether people know it or not, they're always being brought into the artist's like machine, their web. It's like when you get in a relationship with an artist, you get, not only do you get in a relationship with them as a human, but now you're in relationship to their art. You're in relationship to the world and how they interact with the world, because they interact with the world through the music that they write about you. And that's interesting. And their experiences of them in relation to you. So that is a thought I have, is maybe that's what the music video symbolizes, is her having to kill the things she loves to survive. It's an interesting thing.
I am no mother, I am no bride.
Just the snap of that neck, you could like,
But a woman is a changeling, always shifting shape. Just when you think you have it figured out, something
Great background
new begins
vocals.
to take. What strange claws are these, scratching at my skin? I never knew my killer would be coming from within. I am no mother, I am no bride. I am
oh, I love this shuddering.
I am no mother, I am no bride. I am king. I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing. I need my empty halls to echo with grand sales mythology. 'Cause I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king.
Ooh, I love the background building.
I am no bride, I am king. I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king.
I love the instrumental shifting and evolving. Great drumming.
I am king.
Interesting use of like the toms. Very like tribal. This is a lot to process. There's so much going on. Okay, that's interesting. Why are all the men the ones that are floating?
I was never as good as I always thought I was, but I knew how to dress it up. I was never satisfied, never let me go, just drag me by my hair and look back on with Sharon.
Is she like consuming him? Wow. That's kind of like a masterpiece. I use the word kind of like on purpose because it's such a like a different kind of song. I think it is a masterpiece because I think this is exactly what Florence was going for. And we're going to go into lyrics in a second, but just musically, this was so layered, so dynamic. The drumming, like everything kind of going on instrumentally, the building, rising of tension, the adding of layers throughout the song is going on. It is masterfully well done. And the mix was amazing too, because everything felt like it had its own place in the mix. And this was really interesting. And one thing I think in terms of musically is I preferred the vocal performance on Never Let Me Go to this song. I actually prefer, like, I felt this song for me felt more like a statement where, like, musically I could naturally fall into Never Let Me Go as a song. I didn't have to kind of like overthink it. It was very universal. It was very about kind of I don't know, like love, heartache. It was very much about like the universal messages of being a human being. And musically, it was a bit easier to follow too. It was more like, I think, melodic. It was simpler. This was grand, dynamic, like lyrically too. It was more personal for Florence. I think this was more archetypal about her. I didn't feel like I could relate to this one as much as I could relate to Never Let Me Go, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I think objectively it's a masterpiece. Doesn't mean everyone's going to enjoy it, but I think that a masterpiece is whatever the artist was going for. And I think a masterpiece, in fairness, they have to be going for something pretty big. I think they nailed with this. I think the music video is phenomenal too. I don't know what the symbolism of all the men floating and all the women, I don't know what that was symbolizing. But yeah, now, because the lyrics were fascinating. Very interesting. Because I feel like it kind of evolves. But yeah, we argue in the kitchen about whether to have children, about the world ending and the scale of my ambition. That was a big one. The scale of my ambition, because that's the real question. Is like, yeah, you know, what is it like being married to someone that ambitious? What is it like to be married to someone who's not home very often? Who, if you did have children, may not be home very often? You know, it is interesting. I also think it confronts a lot of fears in men too. When the female in the relationship is the breadwinner, when she's the more ambitious one, I think it throws things on their heads. A lot of guys define themselves based on how they can provide for their families, and I know I can even fall into that. I can sometimes feel like I have to be the one to be the kind of like the rock. And like I've kind of let go of a lot of it, but still definitely is still, I think, kind of in my nervous system, is hardwired into my physiology. And I'm not sure how much of it is hardwired into me biologically and how much is a cultural thing. I think they both play an aspect into it. I definitely think it's cultural for sure too. I feel definitely like there's an expectation of gender roles for sure. And it's interesting. And then I love this too. And how much is art really worth? That's fascinating. I've sometimes thought about that when I was growing up. I'm like, should the richest people in the world really be artists that don't really do anything pragmatically for society? Now, in fairness, that's an interesting thing, because I think art actually is valued. I think it's valued more in how it affects our spirit and how it inspires us. I think art is incredibly valuable. Maybe even more than what's pragmatic in some sense, because I think it's what inspires the human race to love and to heal and to be creative. So I think art is both worth more and less than we think. And the very thing you're best at is the thing that hurts the most. That's interesting. But you need your rotten heart, your dazzling pain like diamond rings. You need to go to war to find material to sing. I love that. But you need your rotten heart, your dazzling pain like diamond rings. You need to go to war to find material to sing. That is so deep. This is true. The artist relies on their ability to connect with their audience. So if they are above their audience, if they no longer feel the pain of their audience, they lose their relatability. And I think a lot of artists are fearful of that. Of, like, Sarah McLachlan said that. She's like, you know, I didn't know if I would have any material to sing after I became happy, because people loved me for my pain. And that's fascinating. I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king. She's saying king as in the archetypal king of the entertainment world. Or yeah, she is no mother, she is no bride, she is the king. She's one of the richest artists in the world. Like, I'm not sure what her actual like net worth is, but she's in probably like the top 10% or something, top 1%, because most of them don't make anything. But yeah, I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing, my empty halls to echo with grand self mythology. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, there is a certain kind of inflated ego to artists, which they kind of need because they are kind of, in some sense, above other people. They are gods, you know, we make them gods, and they kind of accept our calls to make them gods. You know, we deify them and they allow themselves to become deities. Because, yeah, we definitely do not interact with artists like people, believe me. And anyone says, oh, I do, no. Believe me, as someone who runs a reaction channel, I see the full psychology of how people worship musicians. Madonna is one of them. People do not talk about Madonna like she's a human being. They talk about her like she is above other humans, that she is, people call her a queen. People call her a goddess. That's not right or wrong. It's just, it is what it is. It's just interesting. It's like, okay, she's a goddess. By your very nature, you worship her. Because a goddess is something worth worshiping. And people have literally told me, I worship her. So it's very fascinating how we don't view them as real people. We view them as symbols of icons. Yeah, we create mythologies. Yeah, they have histories, but their histories are not human histories of someone who grew up in Toronto or New York. They become mythologies. The deities have mythologies, not histories. They're not human beings with a history. They're deities with a mythology. Fascinating. But a woman is a changeling, always shifting shape. That's interesting. Is that because society always needs women? Like, men in society are given the roles of the pioneers. They're given the roles of the ones who make demands and have the world shudder in their wake. And women are usually the ones that play the mediators, play the ones that fill the void left by men. And that's interesting. So by nature, women are always changing shape. They don't have very defined personalities a lot of the time. That is more of a masculine thing. I'm not going to say that's a man thing. That's a masculine, energetic thing. Like, I know in this thing, she was talking, before this song came out, there was like a lot of tarot symbolism about the king. Because I study some tarot. I have my own tarot deck. But yeah, right there, it's just interesting. Like, yeah, women are shapeshifters. The masculine energetic is defined. The feminine energetic is receptive, is receiving. Masculine is giving. And obviously, women can have more of a primary masculine energy. Like, you know, my mom has a lot of masculine energy. So it's just very interesting. She's, you know, more defined, less receptive. I'm very defined. I'm less receptive as well. So it's just interesting right there. Just when you think you have it figured out, something new begins to take. What strange claws are these scratching at my skin? I never knew my killer would be coming from within. Wow. Yeah, I'm no mother. Wow. And then I was never as good as I always thought I was, but I knew how to dress it up. I was never satisfied. It never let me go. Just dragged me by my hair and back on with the show. Wow, that's so true. And I can relate. I was never as good as I always thought I was. Yeah, me too. I had really repressed a lot of the things I didn't like about myself. And so all that was left was everything I loved about myself and I thought other people loved about me. But it wasn't a lie. It was just an omission of part of the truth. And yeah, but I knew how to dress it up, 100%. I think all entertainers, anyone in my position, we learn how to dress ourselves up. Literally, you know, where, like, you know, yeah, you will never catch me doing these videos falling apart. You know what I mean? It's just very interesting. I was never satisfied. It never let me go. Wow. Yeah, this was deep, man. This was a masterpiece of a song. Let me know, what do you guys think of this one in comparison to some of her older material? You know, where do you think it stacks up? Do you think it's a masterpiece? Do you like it musically as much as the other stuff? Or I almost see this as like a movie, an experience. I don't know if I'd listen to this song like I would listen to it just a catchy bop. You know what I mean? This is more like, okay, I want to give this my full attention. I want to feel and soak up the energy and the inspiration of the song. This is almost like a ceremony. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective. But yeah, what's yours? And also, what other Florence and the Machine songs should we check out? Let me know down below. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, definitely leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're digging all the content. And if you guys enjoy anything I talk about in any of these videos, I talk about all this kind of stuff on my podcast, and you can find that link down below as well. And also, before we go, I want to give a big shout out to my tier 3 patrons. So, of course, who do we got? We got Laura, we got Scott, we got Ayla, Charles, David, Francis, Jason, Kelly, Mans, Matt, Melanie, Melisa, Merek, Nora, Paul, and Stewart. So thank you guys very much for everything and, yeah, supporting me throughout, last year and a half. So I really appreciate it. So thank you, and I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. I love you.